You won't find anyone who has walked the same path as I have working as a study abroad consultant. There are basically 3 milestones in my life. The first stage was when I went to the UK to study for the first time. My major was English language teaching, and within that, we had different specializations. I chose language testing and assessment, which is the most difficult field in English studies. It's extremely dry and very hard to learn. Basically, it's about researching how IELTS and TOEFL exam questions are created. Later on, I went to the University of Cambridge to participate in IELTS question development. I even have their question setting specifications. Not just anyone can choose this specialization. Fresh college graduates can't pick it. You have to have at least 3 years of work experience. The average age in our group was 32, and there were several people around 45. Most of them were already prominent figures in their own countries, like government education policymakers. For example, I had a classmate named Mala. She was Indian and already 45 years old at the time. She came here to study with her child. She had already earned a PhD in India, and she was an official in the government's education department. She came from a prestigious family in India. Her IELTS scores were incredible. She got a 9 in both writing and speaking. So at that time, I learned a lot from my classmates around me. It really broke through the ceiling I had in my life back then. During my entire master's program, I taught IELTS, worked as a translator, started my own school, and volunteered. These experiences brought me even more opportunities in life, and it was actually through one of my volunteer experiences that I found the chance to work at Pearson. If I hadn't had that experience in the UK, I wouldn't have made the progress and achieved the things I did later on. The second stage was after I graduated in the UK, when I applied for a PhD program in the United States. The US has a completely different system. It's not the same as finding a job in the UK. In the US, connections are extremely important, and that was the most important lesson I learned at the time. While I was in the US, I also landed a job at ETS, the organization that creates the TOEFL and GRE exams. During this stage, building on the foundation I had already established, I learned even more skills and my abilities were further enhanced. Then, in the third stage of my life, my second child was born. I realized that if I kept working a 9-to-5 job, I would have to sacrifice my family and the time I could spend with my kids. So I had to choose between that and pursuing my own career, helping students with their applications, teaching IELTS, and guiding them in planning their study abroad journeys. In other words, starting my own business could bring about even greater change in the world. If my tiny drop of effort were to fall into the vast ocean of academia, it would have no impact at all. But after I stepped out and started my own business, helping students apply for PhD programs, these are paths I've personally walked. You won't find anyone else who has taken the same path as I have and then become a study abroad consultant, because most people stick to the research track. They wouldn't, and often aren't even willing to share the secrets of their own success. But I'm different, because I started out as an IELTS teacher. I've always been helping students achieve their dreams. That's been a constant throughout my 20 years of personal growth and my journey as an entrepreneur.